I'm Bruce Marshall, and this is a Marshall Minute Brampton Now update as of May 24th, 2020. Eid Mubarak for all those who are celebrating the end of Ramadan this weekend. This is a COVID-19 special report, a roundup of the past week of coronavirus-specific information for Brampton. Coming up, we enter into the first really stunning weekend of the year, with lots of temptation to treat things as normal. In reality, the number of cases in Ontario has been edging up. Here in the city of Brampton, city leaders think we need to be more cautious than the province is being just now. Indeed, Peel Region is still posting some high numbers of new cases. Details on that and more coming up in this Brampton Now update. Here's what's happening on the home front in Brampton. Our tennis and pickleball courts have now reopened, and Peel Village Golf Course reopened this weekend. Check facility websites for details before you go. For example, there's no pro shop nor rentals yet at the golf course. All other city facilities remain closed. The city is still seeking community feedback on further plans for reopening and recovery. Go to Brampton.ca to participate in a survey there or to send your comments. Brampton Transit is now asking riders to wear non-medical masks on transit system facilities. Details are at bramptontransit.com. Both Mayor Patrick Brown and Mississauga's Bonnie Crombie have expressed concern about the pace at which the province is reopening. Peel's medical officer of health expressed concern about the pace at which retail locations have been reopened and suggested on Wednesday this may have led to a surge in new cases in Peel Region. Peel Region Medical Officer of Health Dr. Lawrence Lowe had this to say last Wednesday.
And to a large extent, I think the openings that have happened over the past few weeks, while they may have a smaller impact in smaller population centers, if you're going to open something like retail, the reality is that you are essentially opening the whole community that moves around that. And so, I think a lot of the openings that happened maybe on in the early part of May may have had a bit of a bolstering effect in terms of continuing to push new cases up. And it's for that reason I've made my recommendations today.
The mayor and Dr. Lowe added this with respect to their reluctance for Peel to follow along with areas of Ontario that have a more calmed down pandemic picture right now.
And where in some parts of the province right now, you've really seen a decline in COVID, where it may, in some parts of the province, seem like there's no sign of it. That's not the case in the GTA, it's not the case in Peel Region. And so as much as the province is giving permission to have a gradual return to normal, we're not going to be able to return as fast in Peel Region because we have to put public health first. We have to put the health of our residents first.
As Mayor Brown identified, here in Peel and Brampton, while we have seen our new reported cases starting to plateau, we have not seen a decline in new cases in line with the province's own framework for reopening. Further, we have had 20% of all the new cases in Ontario in the past week, which is disproportionate to our share of the population. And dozens of COVID-19 patients still remain on the wards and in the intensive care unit of our hospitals in Brampton.
From WBUR, the Boston PBS station, comes a commentary from clinical and developmental psychologist Marlene Major in a piece entitled, get this now, "Let Your Teens Stay Up All Night and Other Pandemic Parenting Advice." Yeah, bet that got your attention. Major says that for many teens, their clocks have flipped. They stay up all night and sleep all day, and that's okay for now, says the doctor. In some cases, Major says, they're grieving. Teens have been robbed of normative landmarks. If they can feel that this moment is an historical event and meaningful, they'll thrive. But if their lives have been organized around major events that they're missing, they might suffer. The link to this thoughtful piece is in the comments below. The feds have announced the Large Employer Emergency Financing Facility. It's a fund to assist large-scale employers avoid bankruptcy. The announcement last week is in addition to a range of services and funding available from the feds. Check the federal government COVID funding website for further information. The COVID-19 virtual assistant is deployed across federal government websites to help guide you. Go to canada.ca. From the province on Friday was unsettling news that we'd seen a spike in new cases Ontario-wide that was the highest in 2 weeks. On Wednesday, Premier Ford assured the province,
and I want people to know, I want to be crystal clear, that I'm fully prepared to take every action necessary. If we see things going in the wrong direction, we'll be fully prepared. We won't hesitate to roll things back if necessary. And I'm hopeful we won't go there, but we need to be ready for all possible scenarios. That's why it's more important than ever that we stay vigilant.
Over the last week, the city of Brampton has issued 55 physical distancing tickets, 55 idiots who talked themselves into an idiot tax. One of the idiots assaulted a Brampton bylaw officer in the process, and the idiot also assaulted police. The idiot of the week, I guess. Maybe we'll have to crown one of these people the village idiot eventually. Anyway, here's a reminder on the serious issue of physical distancing that still remains in effect and is still essential to beating this. The city's backyard garden program, under the green thumb of Councillor Doug Willans, is in full swing. Follow him on Facebook at Councillor Willans to stay abreast of gardening developments or to play what I'm calling the home game. The backyard garden program originally welcomed 1,000 backyard gardeners, then increased it to 5,000, and they currently have a waiting list of some 5,000 to 6,000 people who want to garden along with everyone else. The idea is to promote food sustainability, but also to raise fresh food for our food banks. The deal for garden program participants is that half their yield goes to food programs, and the first deposit was made this past week. The first little bit of bok choy was delivered to Regen. The Backyard Garden program supports 4 Brampton food programs: United Sikhs, Khalsa Aid, Knight's Table, and Regeneration Outreach. And if you are in need of food, a map to the Peel Region food programs, including prepared meals and food banks, is at a link in the comments. If you have food to donate, it would be greatly appreciated by any of the programs. Links are in the comments. Your donations have made a huge difference. In spite of the fact that programs have had massive increases in demand, apparently nobody has had to be turned away in Brampton. Here's Ted Brown, CEO of Regeneration at Grace United Church in downtown Brampton.
Hi, I'm Ted Brown. I'm the CEO of Regeneration Outreach Community, standing outside of our location in downtown Brampton. We're so thankful at this location that we're able to continue serving people with healthy, nutritious meals every single day of the week, as well as allowing homeless people and those at risk of homelessness to get a clean shower, to do their laundry, and to be able to do this by serving with love.
In a CBC piece last weekend, they looked at the latest research with respect to where you're at the most risk of coronavirus. And that appears to be anywhere indoors. Many authorities are suggesting that we take as many activities outside as possible this summer. Singing or shouting is being revealed as a big problem. Almost all the members of a U.S. church choir came down with coronavirus after practicing together for 2 hours with a single infected member of their choir. The link to the full story is in the comments down below. Both Tim Hortons and Starbucks have given a clue of what their restaurants will look like upon reopening, without any details of a projected date. They'll be encouraging options like online ordering. We'll be promoting social distancing in their dining rooms when they reopen. Tim Hortons and their umbrella company that owns Popeyes and Burger King chains have talked about face coverings that will be integrated into uniforms, as well as strict monitoring of staff health when they report for duty. Plus, much more rigorous training in contamination control. I know, it's a beautiful weekend, but take Dua Lipa's advice. They were happy to restart the soccer season in South Korea last weekend, boy. They shut it down back in February. A match with Seoul FC was the star attraction across South Korea, played without any fans in the stands. But the team had an offer of mannequins. Yeah, that might be interesting. Posed in various action poses, many of them carrying signs. What's that sign say over there? Oh, it says the mannequins come from a sex doll company. Something that was also noticed by many of the viewers. Seoul FC has since begged an apology from their fans. The German Bundesliga also started up last weekend without sex dolls in the stands. I mean, if you were thinking of who might have that, the Germans, but no, it was the Koreans. So that is this week's Brampton Now Update. Please subscribe to the Brampton Now Update channel on YouTube for lots of Brampton-specific content and as much of the vital, essential, and factual information that I can find for Brampton. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you want. Stay strong, Brampton. Brampton strong and Brampton proud. We're all in this together. I'm Bruce Marshall. Thanks for watching.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.